Do you ever feel like the vibe is off with someone, or maybe you don't feel connected to others in a meaningful way? Welcome to the Crack the Code podcast. I'm your host, Cora Naylor, and today we're going to talk about heart walls. Personally, it's taken me a long time to feel connected to others. As a kid, we moved just often enough that I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere, and I can still feel like that sometimes. Partly because I'm an introvert and enjoy my time on my own. However, one of the things that's really helped for me was having my heart wall released. And I also had a hidden heart wall. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Over time, our emotions can build up and grow a wall around our hearts to protect us, which is not always a good thing because it can also prevent us from experiencing the good emotions like joy and love too. As Dr. Brad says, trapped emotions can create a wall around your heart that can block you from living life to the fullest. So, are you wondering if you have a heart wall? I'll give you some signs in a minute. The heart is one of the most powerful organs in the body, the essence of who you really are. Every beat of your heart sends a message to your body that affects your emotional and physical health. The heart is said to be another brain. Sometimes it protects you by putting up an emotional wall around your heart. So if you've ever experienced any heartache or heartbreak, and who hasn't, your subconscious wants to protect you and keep you safe. So it will build a wall around your heart to protect it. Sometimes our body may need a heart wall in the short term if something overwhelming happens, which is fine. However, you do not want to stay there forever. In the long term, a heart wall can leave you feeling disconnected, and you'll be missing out on more joy and happiness in your life. We're meant to live vibrant, healthy lives filled with love, joy, and connection. These are also the highest vibration emotions. So, what is a heart wall? A heart wall is an energetic barrier formed by emotional energy or trapped emotions around the heart. The heart wall is your body's attempt to protect your vulnerable heart. A heart wall can keep us from feeling hurtful, negative emotions as deeply. It can cause us to feel lonely, isolated, and sad. The downside is it can keep us from feeling joy and happiness as well. You can have a heart wall with the world in general, with yourself, with specific people, which can explain why your vibe may be off with some people. You just meet someone and you can't even explain what's going on there. And even though you don't know them, you may also already have a heart wall with them. So how do you determine if you have a heart wall? Here are a few signs that you may have one. You've been emotionally injured in the past. Now, almost everybody's had some kind of relationship that haven't worked, whether it's with family, friends, people that you meet. You have a tough time connecting with others, or the vibe is off. It's hard for you to connect with others romantically, to meet that right person, or you keep meeting the same person over and over again with different people, but basically the same personalities. Usually there's a heart wall involved there. You have a hard time feeling joy or happiness. That definitely can be a heart wall, and it can be a heart wall with, like, say, with the world, or even just with yourself. So does any of this sound familiar to you? If so, there's a good chance you have a heart wall. So here's a couple of examples of what can happen when you clear a heart wall. I had a client who hadn't spoken much to her dad for a long time. And after we cleared her heart wall, she now has a relationship with her dad, talks to him all the time. And in fact, he wants to talk to her a lot more than she even wants to talk to him. She also had a heart wall with her husband. They had young kids. They've been going through some stuff. Every time they tried to have a conversation, it would just escalate and they couldn't really talk things out. It would just go sideways. So after we released her heart wall, they can now have a conversation. In fact, the next day they had a conversation that would have normally escalated and it didn't. And it kind of caught her off guard. She texted me and she was really surprised that they actually got to have a conversation. So just releasing a few emotions can make that big of a difference. So can you see how releasing your heart wall could be an important thing to do. And for some people, it's life-changing. Now, you're likely wondering, how do you get rid of a heart wall? So you can remove a heart wall by using the emotion code process. And that's something that I do. Now, you can learn how to do this process on your own by reading the book. It's a book called The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. So first, you'll need to check if you have a heart wall and if your body is ready to release it. And then you use the emotion code chart to determine which emotions are in your heart wall. And then use muscle testing to determine which of the emotions on the chart are involved. And then you'll release the emotions using a magnet. The other way to release the heart wall is by working with an emotion code practitioner, someone like myself or someone else. And if you decide that's something that you would like to look at to see if you have a heart wall, reach out to me. You can reach me through my website, CoraNaylor.com. If you want to just check if you have a heart wall, or if you want to book a session so we can release it, we can do it there. As remember, it's never too late, and you want to release that heart wall so you can experience the joy that you want in your life.